We've all seen airplanes take off from the runway, but you might ask, how do airplanes exactly achieve flight? First, you need to know that there are 4 forces that act on a plane while it is in flight. These forces are lift, thrust, weight, and drag. The magnitude of these forces determine whether a plane can remain in the air. It is important to note that the engines on a plane are not the reason why planes can fly. Rather, the engines serve as objects that propel a plane forward. This phenomenon can be explained by Newton's third law, which states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. For example, if a person applies a force on a chemistry mole, the mole would exert a force of equal magnitude in the opposite direction of the force that was applied on it. Therefore, as the engine creates an airflow that pushes backwards, the plane will be pushed forwards. In doing so, thrust, which is the force that moves an airplane through the air, is generated. Most wings of airplanes are based off an airfoil shape, which consists of a curved upper surface and a flat lower surface. The airfoil shape is meant to generate lift, which is an upward force that opposes the airplane's weight and holds the airplane in the air. As the plane moves across the runway, a current of air flows over the wing's airfoil. According to Bernoulli's principle, as the speed of air increases, its pressure decreases. Because the pressure above the wing is lower than the pressure below the wing, lift is produced. Once the force of the lift overcomes the force of the airplane's weight, the plane is able to fly. Once the airplane leaves the runway, it further increases its lift by extending the wings by means of its flaps. These flaps rotate, changing both the wing's slant and its angle to the ground. As the airplane remains in the air, the flaps are retracted to reduce drag. Drag is the force of the wind, or of the air resistance, that exerts a force opposite to the direction of the object's motion. As drag is reduced, the plane requires less thrust to travel across the air. At this point, the flaps are no longer needed, since the speed of the airplane causes air to be pushed across the airfoil and downwards, creating enough force to stay in the air. The airplane will remain in flight as long as the amount of thrust generated by the engines can overcome the force of drag. At the same time, the force of lift must be greater than the force of gravity. The force of gravity includes both the weight of the plane and the objects it carries. In other words, air must be continuously flowing over the wings. Newton's third law once again comes into play. As the wings accelerate air downwards, a force is applied in the opposite direction and the plane is pushed upwards. Once there is enough airflow, thrust, and lift, the plane can successfully achieve flight. And that is how airplanes take off. Be sure to subscribe below and hit that like button, yeah! We hope you enjoyed watching. This is brought to you by Cathy and Pham from Mrs. Gano's 7th period AP Chemistry class. This video was created through Wondershare Filmora and Audacity.